Hi everyone, this is Sibbe Bladh. From an egotistical, low-developed point of view, enlightenment is something very scary. It's very scary for an egotistical, low consciousness being that someone could be enlightened. It's for them it's unimaginable that some people would be like better than them, because in the ego world it's all about hierarchies, people stepping on each other, people pretending to be stuff, hurting each other. And when you see reality that way, enlightenment is in threat. It's a threat, because that means that someone has power over you and are better than you and ultimately can decide over you or take your opportunities. You know, animals don't like that people want to take their food or whatever. And this is perceived. Enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment is perceived as you take something from them, some like fake glory they don't have or whatever. Enlightenment is a result of a long time work, through many lifetimes of work, and it's not free. It's for everyone, but it's not free. We have to change to get the higher light. We have to change our human nature to get this light. And that scares the ego too, because the ego is all connected to the material world. 100% material consciousness. You know, same with love. Love is also a threat in their world. Love is a weapon in their world. Because they can't handle this responsibility. And that's the same with spirit. But the thing is, spirit, you cannot play with spirit. Spirit is conscious, so spirit leaves you if you're not fit. Love can be treacherous, because love is an energy connected to the higher, but is mainly there to create more life and to create a beautiful life. So it may be not so personal all the time. While spirituality is personal, this divine consciousness will leave a person who is not worthy of possessing such consciousness and power. So what's the threat? That someone has worked harder than you? Is that a problem? It's like someone work harder, they should get more pay, right? More salary. It should be a natural consequence of hard work. And the same with enlightenment. A person who has worked for their enlightenment is worthy of that. And only they could receive this. When we're young, most people get an epiphany, get a touch of the power just to guide them on the right path to life. So they should search that and seek that and try to build that forever and never cease, never end. Because when you got that touch of holy love in your whole existence, it revealed to you something basic, fundamental about life. And it can never be forgotten. After you have felt this, it can never be forgotten. And then when you actually work your way back to that through the lifetime, it's like a homecoming to what you once perceived. what the universe once showed you in form of massive energy. For most people, this happened in their late 20s, turning 30. Most people, if they live a good life, would get some energy then. Of course, if you live an awful, despicable life, this might not be felt. Like if people on drugs and doing evil sins that control their feeling very much karmic. They might not feel the divine. But a regular person who is sound and safe and normal, they would get that in some kind of form. Maybe it's just loving a pet, whatever. Something will give a person the divine feeling at some point in life. And that will direct them and guide them towards the purpose of life, of the end of life. See, spirit take material forms. I mean, the body is just a machine, connected different parts of the machine working, existing ephemerally, temporarily, and disappearing, and only existing for the spirit's evolution. So these forms are very sensitive. It's basically a big nerve system, connected with consciousness. In order for consciousness to grow and to handle what it needs to handle, to evolve from this. Like we are riders, hell riders, we go in and out from life and death. We learn the drill of the higher souls in the universe. But as humans, we're still small, right? We fear it. We fear life. We fear death. It's still big for us. But when we finish this track, this will be normal for us. It will be incorporated in a spirit so powerful that it can defeat death. And this is the attainment of immortality, of deathlessness. We are growing consciousness. We are learning the raw power to be conscious, to be a conscious, self-conscious energy. We don't only produce light and energy. Our most important task is to create consciousness and the able for power to think and be conscious about itself. Because that is an energy by itself. And that is the energy of what we call God. God is the most self-conscious energy in the universe. The being that is most aware of itself in the whole universe. And as parts of this divine, we build the ability to be conscious. And many other things we teach the power. We teach the power self-restraint, self-control, dignity, worthiness. We build that, we learn all that in life when we're under these terrible, strong energies. So this can be painful, but it's necessary. It's necessary, and it feels good because what's right feels good. It's like sex feels good for procreation to happen. Life wants to multiply, you see, and it have to feel good for the creature to go that way. If it was only pain, maybe they wouldn't do this. And same with spirit. It makes you feel, the spiritual path makes you feel very good, even though it's filled with dark passages, horrible, painful passages. It's also filled with tremendous joy, tremendous ecstasy. Even though it's not nice, it can be crazy when you see the old masters like Aurobindo. Eyes are popping out of his head of this power. I mean, his eyes are he's just dissolving as a human creature and turning into light, turning into power and consciousness alone. And this can be scaring. But this is what you need to see. If you follow a master, you need to see this light. If you follow a master that go down in the end, you're finished. Then you, which are your own master, will also go down in the end. We need to follow the schools of the high enlightenment, of the high power, where you see masters dissolve into light. If we are to follow anything, it's that. If we want to be influenced by anything, it's that. So we have to be true to ourselves. You know, we have to be realistic, honest, and find the real, true, purposeful, meaningful teachings of life, of life-giving energy. So, like, honesty is very important, to be honest to ourselves, to find this. If we keep following the world, it might not end up so well. So also the resistance to enlightenment, or so-called chosen beings that life produce to have certain missions in this life. You see, the idea that a human is just human, that is politic. That comes from the power structures, the hierarchies of man. This comes from the communism, the isms of the world, which say that human is just a human, it's nothing special. No one is special, no one is nothing. But in nature, not so. Nature don't work that way at all. Nature works only with special, because even one human, which one ever, is special. You must understand, out of billions of sperms, this one came through a very difficult process. So even one human is completely special. So special is very important, and it's not a problem. In spiritual things, it's not a problem to be special, because the more special an evolved spiritual person is, the less ego and the less evil they are. It's a simple equation. And now don't get confused with Christian sects or manipulators. Don't confuse nature and real spirituality with the fakesters. with the spiritual business, with the ashram mafia. Don't confuse the real divine world, universe, nature with human fake and ego, and you will have a much more genuine, warm, spiritual involvement in this life. All right, take care everybody. Bless.